I'll be honest guys, this MoC 10 was so difficult for my Warpless account, I almost gave up until I started using some insane strategies to beat it, including some more neat tricks with March 7th, I know. But take a look at this first. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice, huh? Well, how about this? I can do one better.
Nice.
Okay. If you guys see what I see, how about a like and subscribe for that effort, eh? And for those wondering about my thoughts on getting Doctor Ratio for free, hey, we don't lose out here. All I see is W plus ratio. Let's go. This account is gonna be insane. I can't wait to try MoC 11 and 12. And speaking of those, let's begin and go over some neat strategies that could prepare us for MoC 11 and 12. So yeah, let's go. So initially, I tried Natasha instead of March for the first half, but I quickly realized that A, the mobs hit hard, so if we get unlucky and they stack their damage, someone will die. And B, there's no way to neutralize the Gatekeeper's sanction mode, so if we get unlucky and he stacks, someone will die. And that's not good because people die when they are killed. Therefore, I decided that the best option is, of course, our secret weapon, March 7th. Now let's talk about why March is good here and how to lock down the Gatekeeper's sanction mode to prevent it from attacking. So there are two main ways to neutralize the Gatekeeper effectively. If for some reason you saw this video from like 5 months ago, if the Gatekeeper is in its sanction mode, hold on to March's freeze and use it only after it takes its first action. This will deny its extra action, which is the big single target attack that stun locks your character and sends them to the Shadow Realm. Then take a look at this here. Once it unfreezes, it will consume another action, thereby fully negating both of its sanction mode turns. This is a great reactive strategy, however, there is a better technique in my opinion. Here, check it out. So first we start off with March's technique. I will explain why, but we will want to freeze the Gatekeeper at the start. The process is very RNG as March randomly chooses one enemy to freeze with her technique, but this must happen. I think the longest I've gone without a single freeze is like 11 tries, which is like 1% chance of happening. So yeah, I was here for a really long time. But anyways, the reason why we want him frozen is because freezes and hard CC can deny the Gatekeeper from charging up its sanction mode, while your other characters can use their skills and ultimate to lower its toughness. So yeah, as you guys can see here, it's frozen. It doesn't charge up when Heng uses his skill, and that's amazing for us. That means we could lower its toughness, effectively giving us free hits. The constant delays and toughness break allows me to totally prevent it from entering its sanction mode at all. Unfortunately, my Qingque wasn't unlucky enough as she kept getting 4 tiles before I can use skill. Also, her ultimate would always be like a few energies short, which meant that I was losing the bonus 72% attack bonus for her ultimate. I even shielded her here, hoping that one of the mobs could tag her, but they focused on Heng, which was unfortunate. However, it wasn't a big deal as we were still able to finish off the first wave in one cycle. And now we are in wave 2, and the strategy was similar. Freeze with March to stack toughness damage and focus down the Gatekeeper. But check this out. This is another trick with March that some of you guys saw previously, and if you know, then you know that I like to play this style with March against enemies with blast attacks. Essentially, I use March to turn someone into a tank, aka the Clara tactic. What I mean by that is that I never shield March, but instead I would put my shield on the character that I want the enemy to target in order for the ally to get more energy, as well as greatly reducing the overall damage taken by the whole team. Take a look at the example here. I positioned Heng to my far left and March to his right. I then shield Heng, and when a blast attack comes from the Ascended, Heng takes 0 damage, since he is shielded and March doesn't care about the damage dealt to her since it's so little, right? Now, if I were to put March on the far left and shielded March, she takes no damage, but Heng gets hit hard by the cleave damage. And the same goes. If I shielded Heng instead, he will take the AoE attack and spread it onto March as well as Qingque, and they both take damage from the blast attack. So it's very important that we position our characters carefully, especially with March, in order to negate any blast attacks. So yeah, as we can see here, with a simple positioning trick and shielding to her left, our squad takes significantly less damage from the blast attacks while funneling energy to the desired person. So yeah, throughout the whole fight, I never shielded March once, and with only the extra shield that she gets from her light cone, Texture of Memory, she still ended up with over 2200 HP at the end of the fight, which is ironically still higher than everyone else. And as for builds, of course, we are running March with the 4-piece Eagle since the set scales and benefits characters that have short ultimate cooldowns like March. So more ultimate means more action, which means more energy, more skill points, and more basically just everything else. This compounded really well with the turbulence buff as it rewards our characters with more energy, meaning that we're getting more ultimates. So the value of the set was really just like off the roof. I calculated for this use case, it's about an extra 16 speed, which is an extra 2/3 of speed boots. So my March is about 148 speed. With this set, she would theoretically be at 164 speed. So yeah, as long as I can survive, it's not worth using 4-piece Knight of PP set and give up the extra 16 speed, which is too good to give up, right? Oh, and of course, you're probably wondering about Yukong. Well, why didn't I shield her? That's because she's running the 4-piece Snow. Therefore, she gets minor healing and damage reduction. So as long as the enemies don't stack on her, she won't have an issue with dying. Therefore, we don't need to shield her. Also, I decided to turn Qingque from her normal break build into a powerhouse crit build, as you guys see here, as I needed the damage to finish off the side mobs earlier in order to finish the first wave in one cycle rather than it being 2 cycles. But first, check out this full rotation with Qingque, the perfect opener. You don't want to miss it. The damage is quite insane even with an E0. Okay, it's frozen. Let's shield up Don Heng. He'll be our designated tank. He'll hopefully soak up at least one hit so that we get his ultimate up. Nice. Now we can use his ultimate onto the Lockdown Gatekeeper. That's going to allow us to deal some toughness damage as well as get in some more damage in without it stacking up its charges, right? Well, normal attack here. We'll skill in order to reapply the slow. Okay, so Qingque didn't get attacked. That's good. And now, good. That means that hopefully we don't charge up her tiles because we want to be unlucky, right? I'm gonna go ahead and shield up Don Heng so he gets the buff. Hopefully he takes a little bit more damage as well. Oh, Yukong gets hit. And March, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna freeze. And then Yukong's gonna ultimate in order to give everybody the crit rate and crit damage buff. Hopefully, please don't get lucky. Oh, okay, that's good. 3 stacks, that's not bad. We're ultimate here. Yeah, 152,000 damage. And now, there we go, 56,000 damage. Pretty good. That's like a 200,000 combo right there. That's pretty insane. We'll get this normal attack to get a skill point so that we don't waste it, and ultimate in order to finish him off. And there we go. That's pretty much it. That's the opener that I wanted with Qingque. However, we didn't get it, but it's fine. We still finish it in one cycle. It's just rinse and repeat from here on out, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, at this point, I have to apologize, as you guys probably think this is just another March guide. And yes, March coming to the rescue should definitely not be a surprise by now anymore. But don't worry, there's some best girl action in here too, and that will come up now. So let's talk about it. So the critical changes made the impossible into possible, and it ultimately allowed us to gain an extra cycle in the first half, from 24 remaining to 25 remaining. So firstly, I start off by using Pela's technique, as it shreds the enemy defense and allow for more damage when we break them. For the first wave, we face the 2 Blaze out of space and 2 Fragmentum soldiers. This soldier in particular will decrease your ally's action value when it attacks, so it's important that I kill this one right away in order to mitigate the RNG involved. So therefore, Sushang is on a break hybrid build with 150% break effect, so her break damage is quite insane, and pairing that with physical MC, we're able to take out the soldier before it can attack one of our allies. Next up, we focus the toughness damage on the 2 Blazes, and I make sure that Sushang is the one to break them both, since she is the dedicated breaker. However, this bit becomes very important as I have a chance to break them again, but I don't. Instead, I choose to wait for them to move first. Well, why is that? The reason is that if I break early, the enemies will regain toughness quickly. But the biggest reason is that if I allow them to take their turn, they take bleed damage on cycle 24 and 2 more times on cycle 23. And so I get an extra turn of bleed damage, basically granting me an extra 30k damage onto the enemies. If I didn't do this, I will not have enough turns to break the enemy again, and the enemy will only take bleed damage once on the cycle 24 and once again on the cycle 23. 3, giving us a net minus of 1 bleed proc. Now, as you guys can see, I don't use my ultimates even though the cycle is ending. Since the extra energy carries over and overstacks, I choose to instead hold the load for Argenti instead. So we wrap up wave 1 by saving our ultimates, charging up our skill points, and letting the bleed finish off the 2 blazes. We now enter wave 2 against Argenti. So here I let him summon his statues first before dumping my load on him that I've been saving since the end of wave 1. Okay, that sounded kind of wrong. Here physical MC will use his single target ultimate to deal maximum toughness and damage to Argenti since we only have 4 cycles to beat him with. So essentially we only want to focus Argenti at all times except for this exact scenario. Okay, so this is where knowing Argenti mechanics and how the statues work is very important, especially if we want to maximize the damage. In phase 1, Argenti will summon 2 statues of different types, and in phase 2, he will summon 4 of them. The only statue we care about is this one here, the spear tip. When he summons this, I will focus this down, especially if the statue is in its enhanced state. However, we do not want to break Argenti with the spear tips as its bleed damage is significantly less than that of someone like my Sushang. So as you guys can see here, I will hit the spear tip once with Sushang to lower its toughness. Once Natasha breaks Argenti's barrier, I then ultimate with Sushang, advancing her forward where I proceed to take out the spear tip with her skill, and once it blows up, it will deal a ton of damage as well as toughness damage to Argenti. I then continue and repeat this process with Sushang every time a spear tip statue is summoned, and finally at this point, it came down to the wire. So Bets girl, show them what you got. All right, Sushang, finish him. Let's go. Sushang to the rescue. You'll love to see it. 20 cycles. Holy cow, that was painful. That first half was just pure pain. So yeah, by utilizing the spear tip statues and its mechanic, we're able to leverage the maximum damage, and even though it ultimately came down to the final attack once again, the job is still done. Last week it was Herta, and this time it's Bets girl. You gotta love it. Also, for those that want the showcase, I uploaded this full showcase MoC 9 and other clears with my other accounts as well on this other channel here. I didn't want to make this video longer than it usually is, and I don't want to be spamming videos on this channel, so I decided to use an older channel to upload showcases over there. If I do a video like this, I will link the showcase in the description, and I'll probably add non-commentary showcases over there as well for MoC 11 and 12, as well as other content like Pure Fiction and Golden Gears. And other than that, we are also getting a free Doctor ratio. I think you guys already know this, but this account, oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of fun stuff on this account soon once we get the free Doctor ratio, which I'm pretty sure is the second half, right? If I'm not mistaken. We're not getting it the first half. The first half we're getting the banner and you have to pull for him, but then on the second half we get it for free. But yeah, I'm excited. This account is gonna be insane when he comes out. I already tested him a bit on the content creator server, and boy, he's quite insane. He's quite good. Nothing else I can say about that, because otherwise hoyoverse is gonna come after me. Anyways, subscribe if you guys are interested. I will be doing guides for MoC 11 and 12 and other endgame content that is coming with 1.6. So yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye now. Bye. See ya. Bye. Okay, bye.